Parasyte The Grey was one of the most exciting releases of this year, and it definitely didn't disappoint all the thriller-seeking K-drama fans. The live-action manga-inspired drama was actually so good it left fans begging for more. Of course, the million-dollar question is if the show is getting renewed for a second season. The finale of season 1 definitely made room for a potential sequel, because there were quite a few unexpected twists and turns that desperately need some explaining. In the last few seconds of the final episode, a shocking cameo was made by Masaki Suda, who plays Shinichi Izumi. He offered assistance to Jung-kyung and Team Grey to get rid of the parasites in Korea once and for all. As most viewers already know, the drama is loosely based on the Parasyte manga written by Hitoshi Iwaki. The show is a unique live-action adaptation of it that serves as a spin-off to the original manga, as it has its own original storyline. The screenwriter of the show decided to place his own original characters in the world of Parasyte, making a totally new and unpredictable story. However, the events that take place in the manga could tell us something about a potential second season for the drama, as the two are still heavily connected. When Shinichi showed up in the final moments of season 1, it had fans do a double take. Those who have read the manga instantly knew that he's the original protagonist of Parasyte, which confirmed that the drama is both a sequel and a spin-off to the original manga. In the drama, Shinichi is a lot older, meaning that season 2 could explore what happened to him after the events that took place in the manga. In the original story, Shinichi doesn't leave Japan to go to Korea, suggesting that the timeline of the drama is set after the end of the manga. Considering that Soo-in, played by John Soni, is the main character in this version, it's very likely that the two find a way to team up in a potential next season. Even though their storylines have nothing to do with each other, the drama could find a way to intertwine them, creating a new twist to the plot. This all sounds like you would need to have read the manga to understand the new season, but in season 1, it already became pretty clear that Parasyte The Grey didn't rely too much on references and callbacks to the manga. Shinichi's sudden appearance probably means that the plot of season 2 will have some more ties to the original story. At the end of the manga, Shinichi knows everything about the parasites and how they function. In the drama version of the story, he could very well use this knowledge to help Team Grey combat the mysterious life forms. After everything he went through in the manga, his skills would be of great use in Korea. If Shinichi really does become a new addition to the drama, that raises a lot of questions. Season 1 ends with a close-up shot of his right hand, which might have been a deliberate choice to tease that Migi will also make an appearance in season 2. For those who don't know, Migi is the parasite that infested Shinichi's right hand. This parasite is unlike the others. Since Migi never consumed the brain of its host, he never developed the urge to eat humans. Shinichi and Migi kind of come as a package deal. So if Shinichi becomes the lead character of season 2, then who knows, we might be introduced to Migi as well. If Team Grey ends up accepting Shinichi's help and Migi also makes an appearance, they'll have a combination of a human and a parasite to track down all the parasites in Korea. The question is whether Soo-in and Heidi will join the fight, since Shinichi and Soo-in never got the opportunity to meet in season 1. A future encounter between the two is necessary, since it could have some crazy consequences. At the end of the original manga, Migi is dormant, which means he's not active like Heidi is, but if he were to meet another parasite living within its host, there's a chance that he could wake up. Shinichi's return could mean that a great new threat is present and that his assistance and expertise is needed in Korea. At the end of the original manga, almost all parasites kept a low profile and assimilated into living as humans, which is why Migi and Shinichi practically retired. In the show, this aspect is kind of overlooked. In this case, Shinichi's return could indicate the introduction of a new villain. Speaking of Soo-in and Heidi, season 2 would create a lot of room for their relationship to evolve, for the worse or for the better. At the end of season 1, Soo-in is offered a position in Team Grey. At the same time, Heidi promised Soo-in that she'd never be alone. That sounds like a hard promise to keep, since anything could happen in future episodes. Heidi's relationship with Soo-in is completely different from the relationship Shinichi had with Migi in the manga. It took a long time for Migi to empathize with humans and accept Shinichi as a vital part of his existence. Initially, Migi even reduced Shinichi to an object, requiring him to get back in touch with his humanity. In sharp contrast, Heidi served as Soo-in's supportive parasite, consistently reinforcing Soo-in's gentle nature and promising her unwavering loyalty. Heidi telling Soo-in that she'll never leave her could be some serious foreshadowing to something terrible happening in season 2 that'll force them to part ways. Everything that's happened so far served as great emotional buildup, so if something heartbreaking were to happen in a future episode, it would leave viewers in absolute shambles. There's even a theory going around that Shinichi is not actually Shinichi, but that it's a whole other parasite pretending pretending to be him to use his reputation for malicious intent. That seems pretty far-fetched though, since fans have been begging to find out what happened to Shinichi after the manga for years now. Others believe the second season will focus on a totally different team with a new set of characters located in a different country, but considering the intriguing end of season 1, that wouldn't make much sense at all. More likely is that season 2 will explore more of Sol Kang-woo's character arc. At the end of season 1, Kang-woo appears to have left his criminal past behind him, now joining Jun-kyung and Team Grey in fighting evil. However, viewers haven't forgotten about the trail of blood he left behind because of his reckless nature. Although he started fresh and is trying to keep a clean slate, the people who he hurt definitely won't forget his actions. It's very possible that in a second season, Kang-woo's past will come back to haunt him. He'll have to face the fact that he once was the villain in someone else's story, making room for some amazing character development. We can't get too excited yet though, because whether there'll be a second season all depends on viewership and ratings. So far, critics have been very positive about the drama, and viewers have been absolutely loving it, meaning that a renewal might not even be so far-fetched. Besides, if Netflix agreed to introduce a new actor in the final minutes of the first season, that means they probably won't have much trouble greenlighting a second season. Director Yeon Sang-ho, who worked on projects such as Hellbound and Train to Busan, also seems to be very positive about the future of the drama. In an interview with News One, he dished a little on the creation process of the drama and gave us some insight on what direction the show will take in a potential future season. He shared that he was initially worried about the reception of the show, especially from the Japanese audience. Sang-ho explained that since the story is a Japanese original, he obviously didn't want to disappoint Japanese fans. Luckily, the responses were pretty positive, making the live action a big success. He confessed that he's not sure what the official numbers are as of right now since Netflix hasn't come out with a statement yet, but it's definitely not looking too bleak. This probably has everything to do with the fact that the director decided not to copy the entire manga, but opted for his own unique retelling of it. When asked if there will be a second season, Sang-ho shared that this isn't a matter he can decide on by himself. He then dished a little bit more on his encounter with Masaki Suda, who came to meet him after hearing about the project. It seems like the director already worked out quite a bit of the storyline for a potential second season, since he presented it to Lee Jong-hyun. He then shared that if season 2 is greenlit by Netflix, chances are high Shinichi will be the main protagonist. He was also asked why he decided to work with Suda instead of Somatani Shota, who previously played the role of Shinichi in a Japanese movie adaptation. Sang-ho confessed he thought about casting him, but decided against it when he realized he needed a unique version of Shinichi. He expressed that he initially felt anxious about casting Suda since he's very popular in Japan. It ended up happening anyway, and if another season is released, he's going to receive even more attention from people all over the world. Judging from this, the second season of Parasyte The Grey is the first ever proper sequel of Shinichi's story from Parasyte, despite the fact that it comes from a different creator and that it's told in a completely different medium. It seems very unlikely that the drama will be connected to the past live-action movies that were released. The movies were a proper adaptation of the manga, whereas this drama will serve as a spin-off that takes place 8 years after the end of the manga. In this version, Shinichi will be in his late 20s instead of being a student in high school, which makes the possibilities of the plot endless.